my beauties, how are you guys doing today? Welcome back to my channel. So today what I decided to do is a get ready with me. I feel like I haven't done one of these in quite some time, and I recently actually acquired some new things and some new beauty and makeup products from Sephora and Ulta because I did fail at the no buy March, and so I figured it'd be a perfect time to kind of update you guys on some makeup products and some like life updates as well. And so I am barely drinking my coffee now. I actually curled my hair yesterday, so it's kind of a little bit frizzy, but it has like that perfect amount of curl in it. And when I say that I'm drinking a huge cup of coffee, I am actually drinking like a huge mug of coffee. Like, this thing is ginormous, but that's what it takes for me to actually wake up. And so I figured we could just hang out, and Ulta is actually having the 21 days of beauty sale, and I actually, on the first or second day, they had the Lorac Pro 3 palette on sale for like $22, which was like 50% off. So I bought actually another one for a giveaway for next month for you guys. I absolutely love Lorac shadows like overall, and I really do enjoy this palette. I actually have one, and it's one of my favorite palettes. And I'm actually thinking of doing like a top favorite 10 eyeshadow palettes, even though that's going to be one of the hardest videos for me because I love my eyeshadow palettes. And I actually have a couple other palettes that I've been playing around with, like the Soft Glam palette. I actually got around to playing around with the Back Talk palette, and honestly, it's not one of my favorites. The Natasha Denona palette is absolutely great, and another palette I've been loving is the Benefit Blush Bar palette. This one is absolutely amazing, so we're gonna just play around with some of these today and kind of go through them, and I'll kind of let you guys know like some of my pros and cons in regards to these palettes. And so let's just go ahead and jump into it. I actually already moisturized my face, so after moisturizing, I'm gonna go in with the Tarte Clean Slate Timeless Smoothing Primer, and I actually have been obsessed with this little thing. I have not had anything else that really like fills in my pores as well as this thing does, and I've been using it literally every time I apply my makeup. I cannot go without it because I do have like bigger pore areas like right here around my nose and sometimes on my forehead, and this thing literally like fills up my pores like no other. It is so amazing. I literally see a difference like with my makeup being put on and my foundation, how much smoother it actually goes on, and I absolutely love this thing. And so for foundation today, I'm going to go in with the Maybelline Super Stay Full Coverage Foundation. I actually have not found my right shade, so I kind of mixed these two shades. It's 120 and 112, and I kind of get my perfect shade. And these are great just because they are super full coverage, so you don't need a lot. And so I'm just going to go in, and I'm going to go in with my new Real Techniques glitter brush. And I'm just going to apply kind of like a dot of each, like right on my brush, and then kind of go in with it. I actually already use this brush, and I actually really do enjoy it as a foundation brush because it is like a larger brush, and so I feel like it applies my makeup super quickly on the skin. And so I'm just going to go in and kind of dot this all over, and then kind of go in and kind of blend it in just circular motions. And do you guys see that the color is a little bit too light? So I'll go into the darker one, and I'll add one more drop of the darker one, and then just kind of reapply it, and then just kind of just go in circular motion. But anyways, how have you guys been doing? I actually just started taking the Tati Halo vitamins 3-4 days ago, and honestly I don't see like a huge difference in like my skin or nails yet, but it has been only like 3 or 4 days, so I'm not really surprised. I did take a picture of my nails before I started taking them. I did take a picture of my skin before I started taking them, and also like I measured the length of my hair being straight and wet, and so hopefully I can definitely retake the measurements after I take them for like 30 days or so and kind of update you guys on that because I'm really interested to see if I am gonna have like an actual difference in my nails, or like the strength of my nails, or maybe like the growth of my hair. But anyways, I actually do really enjoy this foundation brush just because of its like size. It applies the makeup super fast, and it doesn't really leave any streaks or anything, so it does apply the foundation pretty smoothly. Now for concealer, I'm gonna go in with the ColourPop concealer in the shade Fair Neutral, and this is like a super light concealer. So I literally am gonna go and apply like the tiniest little amount of this. And honestly, you guys, this concealer dries down really quickly and sets. So you want to blend really quickly. And that's one thing that I've actually noticed about this concealer, is that it's great because it does set and then it doesn't really move and go anywhere. But you do have to kind of work quickly when you do apply it on both eyes at the same time. Okay, and so now, even though the foundation is a matte finish foundation and I don't always like set it, I'm gonna go into my NYX HD finishing matte powder. This is one of my favorites from the drugstore, and I'm gonna take this other like super awesome glittery brush, and I'm just gonna set this maybe a little bit under the eyes and maybe like a little bit on the T-zone, just a little bit, because this foundation, like I did say, is matte, so you don't have to really do much to it. And so now we're gonna go into the blush bar palette, and I actually really enjoy this palette. This has a value of I think like $130, but you can get it for 58 bucks at Sephora. And I actually really like Benefit powders, and this is what it comes with. It comes with a little mirror, and then it comes with 1, 2, 3, 4 kind of pinky blush shimmer shades, and then one Hoola bronzer. I absolutely love this Hoola bronzer. It's actually one of my favorites, period. And so I absolutely love this. This is the volume 2, I believe, because they did come out with a similar one last year, and I don't know where I do have it. It's probably put away, but I actually really do enjoy these because it does have a lot of really nice shades. I love the California blush. It's one of my favorites as well from Benefit. Then it has the Hoola bronzer, which I actually use on a daily, and then in this one it has the Gold Rush, which has this really nice pinky shade, but it has a little bit of gold kind of on top of like a spray over, so it's not really like all the way throughout gold. It's just like a top layer, because if I kind of just roll my finger in it, it will kind of come off goldy, but then underneath it has just like a very nice satin finish. And then they also added Rockateur, which is in my opinion kind of like a blush topper, and then they have Dandelion, which is another one of my favorite blushes. So I actually usually mix these two, and that's actually what I'm gonna do. And then I'm gonna go in with another Tarte brush from a holiday collection that they had. I feel like this one has a perfect density for being like a blush brush. And then I'm gonna go into these two and kind of combine them and just apply that on my cheeks. And it gives you like this really nice, pretty, flushed look. And I do really think that this palette is a great value, just because each one of these I think retails for like $29 each. And so you're definitely saving a ton of money if you buy this palette. I absolutely love it. I actually do use it on a daily instead of my like custom made Z palette. I'm actually kind of working backwards because I already did apply blush, because that's what gets me excited. And I'm gonna go back into the Hoola bronzer and just apply a little bit of bronzer like right here. And I'm just gonna apply this in the hollows of my cheeks. And I actually really like this brush for bronzer. I feel like we got this in a BoxyCharm, and it's so nice and fluffy, but like thin at the same time. I absolutely love how like it contours and bronzes your face at the same time. I'm gonna take a little bit more and kind of just go on the parameters of my face. Alright, so that's that for this palette. So now I'm going to go in to the Back Talk palette for the highlight. And this is the highlight we're going to use right here. It's called Party Foul. And I actually am not as pleased about this palette as I thought I would be. After using like super metallic eyeshadows, like these do not perform as well as I would want them to. And honestly, even though this like removable mirror seems like a super cool concept because you can take it out, you know, use it, it's actually a pain in the butt because I have to like remove it every time I use this palette, or it's like in the way. So I'm gonna go ahead and go into this highlight right here, and I'm just gonna use a little like fluffy brush like this, and this is actually a really nice highlight, and I do really like this darker dusty rose shade of a blush, but this one right here I won't really use as blush, maybe as eyeshadow, just because it has like too much of a violet tone. And then this right here, low-key, is a too dark of a highlight for me, so I would only use this for eyeshadow. And so since I can only use maybe 2 out of the 4 powders, I don't know if it was like worth for me to get this palette. And then actually on the eyeshadow side, there's a couple of eyeshadows, for example, this curve one, that don't perform as much as I would want them to. Like, they're not as metallic or as, you know, pigmented as I would want them to be. And so even though you can get like really nice looks, I don't know that they're intense enough for me. And so that's it for the highlight. I'm gonna put a little bit more on my Cupid's bow maybe. And so that's it for highlighting. Now I'm gonna go and fill in my brows with the IT brow pencil, and I will be right back. Alright my beauties, so my brows are as good as they're gonna get, and now I'm gonna fill in my lips before I do my eyes, because I haven't really decided what I want to do with my eyes yet. I think I'm gonna use the Natasha Denona Tropic palette, but I am not sure. Maybe the Soft Glam palette, I don't know, but we'll see. So I'm gonna go in with Frickin' Frag from ColourPop to do my lips, just so it can kind of match my nails, and then we'll move on to the eyes. So let me put this on. And I really like this formula and this shade in general. Okay, so my lips are on, and before we move on, I did really want to mention that the Give It To Me Straight palette by ColourPop, I feel like is an excellent, not even dupe, but an excellent alternative for the Back Talk palette, because it has really similar shades in it, but I feel like not only is the ColourPop one a little bit more affordable, it actually has a better variety of shades in my opinion. So I absolutely love this ColourPop palette, and so if you were thinking of purchasing this one, maybe you want to just go ahead and get the Give It To Me Straight palette by ColourPop, but that's always up to you guys. But anyways, let's go ahead and move on to the eyes. I'm sorry about the glare. I feel like there's a huge glare because of the sun in the camera, but I'll scoot up a little bit closer, and then we can use the Tropic palette to kind of come up with a look. I'm still not sure what I want to do with my eyes. I did want to point out though that the new Tropic palette by Natasha Denona versus like the old, you know, Lila palette or Sunset palette, the amount of product in this one is less per pan than in these palettes, so that was kind of a bummer for me to find out, because these original ones actually contain 0.08 ounces per pan, and this one contained 0.05 ounces per pan. So I did want to point that out, that even though they don't really look like there is less product in them, they're actually like thinner, or you know, there's just less product in it. So that was kind of a bummer to find out, because it is the same price, but I do really enjoy the variety of coloring in this palette. And so I'm just gonna start off by going to just this vintage rosy shade right here. It's called Vintage Taupe actually, this one right here, and I'm just gonna put this all over my lid. I'm not sure what I'm doing yet. Maybe I'll just create like a simple look, and this shade is just so nice and beautiful. I absolutely love it. And what I'm actually gonna do is I'm gonna take this shade and kind of put it all over the lid, not just in the crease, just to kind of set everything and just blend everything out nicely. I'm not sure what I'm doing yet, so this will give me like a nice pink base. And I'm gonna do the same thing to the other eye. So I have a question for you guys. Have you guys been watching anything exciting on Netflix or Hulu or on TV? Any exciting shows lately? I actually, funny story, I actually was bored the other day, and I was going through like Netflix, you know, recommended shows, and there's this show called Santa Clarita Diet with Drew Barrymore. Oh my gosh, so I watched the first episode. It is the most like kind of obnoxious, gory show ever, and I started watching the first episode, and I don't know why, but it kind of just dragged me into it. And it's about like human eating zombies, or like a zombie, you know, outbreak. And I don't know why, but like it kind of sucked me in because of how like crazy it is. And I actually finished that whole season 1 and 2 in literally the past 2 days. And I don't know if I would recommend that show, but that's what I've been watching lately. And I'm actually looking for a new TV show to start. I really want to watch this movie called To the Bone about, I think it's about like anorexia. And then there's also Beauty and the Beast that just popped up on Netflix. So I really want to watch that because I haven't seen it. But do you guys have any recommendations for a really good show on Netflix? Let me know in the comments down below. Alright, so I did try to fix the lighting a little bit to kind of get rid of the glare. I swear I need to get a new ring light because ever since my old one broke and I've been using this like other lamp to record, it has been awful lighting. And so I do apologize for that, but I am shopping for a new ring light, so hopefully the lighting will be better in the next week or so. But what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to go into this Gusty shade right here because I haven't really played around with this one a ton yet, and I'm just gonna take this. It has like this like blue purple iridescent sparkle to it. I don't know if you guys can see, but I think I'm just gonna apply this kind of all over the lid and just see how that kind of looks with the vintage shade on my lids. It's not too bad, right? It gives it like a little bit more of like a peachy look. And then what I'm going to do is go into Sangria right here, and I'm going to just put this in my crease just to kind of darken the look a little bit, just the slightest, just barely in the crease with this like tapered brush. Did that make it a little bit better? I feel like that made it just a little bit more defined, and I'm going to take this shade and put it on the bottom as well. Okay, how does that look? I feel like it's maybe a little bit too red, so I'm just going to take a clean brush and kind of try to smooth it out a little bit, maybe blend the little sangria color a little bit more in, just so it's not like super vibrant red. But I do really like this palette. I feel like you can come up with so many different like looks. I absolutely love how creative you can get with that palette. And so now I'm just gonna go ahead and apply mascara. I'm gonna use the Double Decker mascara. We actually received this in one of the subscriptions. I believe it was in the BoxyCharm. I think it was like my last video that I did an unboxing of this. So I'm just gonna apply this to my eyes and we'll be right back. Alright, so do we like what this mascara did to my lashes? I feel like it made them really nice and thick and long. It was on the super slightly clumpy side, but I feel like it did give me a lot of like length, and that's the main thing I look for in a mascara. So I'm not complaining whatsoever. And so now I'm gonna just go ahead and spray my face with the Caudalie Elixir. This is one of my favorite face mists, period. It smells so amazing, and it is actually filled with so many good ingredients. I absolutely love it. And it smells like just this like fresh garden. Oh, I absolutely love it, and it always like makes my makeup look so flawless. And so that'd be it. I am sorry about the glare because I can't see it in the viewfinder, but there's not much I can do about it without my ring light. And so hopefully you guys enjoyed hanging out with me. I am gonna go ahead and do a ColourPop unboxing up next, just because I got a package from their new like spring collection, the one with a bunch of like butterflies and whatnot. And so hopefully you guys can join me for that as well. If you guys have any feedback, any comments, please don't hesitate to leave them in the comments down below. I also do have a March giveaway for some Sephora gift cards. If you want to go ahead and check that out, I will link it down below. And so that'd be it. Thank you guys so much for hanging out. Lots of love from me to you. Stay happy, stay positive, and I'll see you guys soon. Bye. Mwah.